Hey YouTube, this is Ben Gessel. How's it going? Um, well, life has been treating me pretty good recently. Um, but even though there's some stressors like taxes and things, it's kind of hard to sum up everything that's been going on recently, of course. But I'll do my best. But there is something that maybe I'll touch on a bit more. Uh, maybe in just a bit. Um, so increasingly, as again, I have to put up more videos. I've tried to create my YouTube channel, a community where people can feel free to talk about things and that they're on their mind, and um, just a place for people to come and watch videos that they want to watch and that are, and I know this is basically a vlog channel. It's not like I haven't put out very much on YouTube that has to do with, for instance, my music stuff that I do. Well, and I'll when that happens, it happens. But it's my desire is always to have people comment about stuff that I'm talking about. I in the past have gotten a small number of nice comments. I've gotten a fair bit of trolls, and that was in the past. And I didn't do videos for quite some time. I've made a few more recently, and um, I wasn't intending on talking about this, but necessarily, but now that I am, it's kind of something where I didn't know really what would happen when I made a lot of YouTube videos in the past, and I'm a lot more aware now of a lot more aware of what's happening with people on the whole, with regard to why people behave the way they do online. I know a lot more regarding what I want to say and how I want to do whatever on YouTube. Um, I've always been myself. I have, but um, I I really don't need to say this. I really don't, but I am right now. I I'm generally not around a very rough element in my life right now. Not really. All the people that are renting rooms in the house that I'm in right now, and I'm the property manager of the house, but I don't own the house. Every single one of them is awesome. I'm getting along with them great. None of them have any issues with it. It's just great. And I know, I mean, that's like, wow. I mean, like, just, it's really, they're really great guys that are here. But, but yeah, there have been some more vexing sorts of people on some level that in the past. It bothered me. Um, I'm not saying I'd be able to handle that better at this point. I think what it is maybe a bit more awareness of when people are trying to bother me or take advantage of me. There's a greater awareness of people at this point in my life, as well as myself, and how I am. I've lived life long enough, and observed enough about myself, even if it's a little bit painful. And I've observed how other people are enough so that I could say, yep, I know how I'm doing, and I know how the world is doing. And I know that people can behave like cretins online because it's just this, in real life, if you behave certain ways, you're going to be in big trouble if you're an adult, especially. On YouTube, you can kind of get away with more. It doesn't, even if YouTube has tried to improve its policing, it's still, there's a lot of negative stuff. A lot of negative stuff. And when it comes my way, I know how to deal with it. So I'm still going to talk about whatever I want to talk about on my videos. And we still don't really always know exactly what YouTube is going to single out. But, there's other ways I could upload videos to other sites if I really wanted to go that route. Anyway, moving forward, I'm kind of just going to treat this like a vlog. This is how I'm doing for this channel. So, I don't know when I'll be able to go shopping. Hopefully soon. I'm trying to have enough money to pay self-employment taxes. But mentioning this subject, I just want to talk really quick about food, which I spent so many videos that I've addressed the subject of nutrition. Yes, I know some things. No, I don't know a lot of things. Yeah, sure, I've changed a little bit about my diet over time. Sure, this is all kind of surface level stuff that is really just whatever. It's like, okay, big deal, right? Big deal. Well, what I've observed, what I'm going to be observing when I go, actually, it's been a bit since I've been shopping. I've been eating out a little bit recently, but trying to save money, but on some level. But what I've observed is that I should probably just stick to 3 or 4 different types of fruits every shopping trip. Just 3 or 4, 5 tops, no more than 5. If I get a ridiculous amount of fruit, yeah, I can try getting through it all, but it, no guarantees. And I don't like wasting fruit. And the fresh vegetables, just heck, I need to just buy 1 or 2 of those and get or something like that. Not too much of them, and get the rest of it frozen. If I'm really busy, and I'm really, really busy, folks, I'm very busy. I haven't even mentioned all the things I'm involved in. Not the musicals, not the other playing groups, brass groups, not the church stuff that's often music oriented, not even all my private instruction stuff, there's other things that I'm doing. Not the music transcription. There's just a lot of stuff and compositions and trying to save something. Yeah. So many projects. I'm a busy guy, and it's hard to get to my vegetables that are fresh if I'm really busy. So I'm going to have to rely on frozen more, and which are often involving cooking vegetables. But onions are a great deal. So the first food I'm going to mention that I think would recommend if you guys can like it are onions. They're cheap, they're durable. You can put them in all kinds of stuff. And they're healthy. And associated with onions are olive oil. Get olive oil for cooking. Or butter or lard if you believe Dr. Glidden. Which I haven't talked about this stuff for a long time. I know. But Dr. Glidden is Dr. Glidden. It's not like everybody's talking about how olive oil is not as healthy as butter or lard. But we all know olive oil is healthier. Same thing with avocado and coconut oils and maybe a few others. They're definitely healthier than the canola oil that's crap. Cottonseed oil, that sort of thing. Palm oil, it's just very processed. We don't want to consume processed oils. We want to consume real oil from real, you know, minimally processed stuff. So onions and olive oil. And then for me, I mean, broccoli and green beans sound like a good combination for frozen veggies, but we know we need the variety, so we throw in some frozen cauliflower, frozen spinach, frozen kale, frozen peas. It's all frozen, so it won't go bad. And then for fresh vegetables, you know, the salad green, you know, carrots, lettuce, celery. Cucumbers, man, it's just like, oh man, zucchini or squash. It just, you know, it's always those fresh vegetables I buy. I'm like, I know it's so good for me, but if it's just gonna go bad in a few days, and I'm really busy, just no, I can't. And between the fruit and the vegetables, that should provide enough variety. And everybody talks about how you need more variety. You need all. I know. I believe that. I'm a believer in eating from all these different botanical families, but maybe just rotate through them. Like get some different plant families, and the next time you go shopping, get something from some different plant families, and then the next time something different, and then in a given month or 2 months, you'll be getting through and giving your gut quite a lot of different things. But you don't have. I don't have to have a dozen different fruits or a dozen different vegetables at any point in time for my gut to be healthy. But I should circle through a fair bit of variety over a few months at least. I understand that. And then peanuts are still a great deal for me. They're cheap and they have a lot of nutrients. Pistachios, same deal. And then I think lentils are a great deal, like in canned soups that are organic. I think the canned soup thing is kind of one of my more recent things I'm doing a bit more of. And I am not happy about egg prices, but I wonder if they're coming down. I have no idea. You guys can tell me if those egg prices are still high or not. I have a lot of faith still in chicken and turkey, but it's just that it's easy to overcook them. And the healthier the chicken or turkey is, sometimes they don't require as much cooking time, but it's a different beast when you're doing pasture-raised chicken, pasture-raised turkey, because it's super healthy, but anyway, I know what I'm trying to say. It's just that really healthy animals they're just going to be a little bit more of a protein, just the protein and fat tastes from healthy animals. You're not going to have you're not going to have the corn-fed flavors of beef so much. I haven't bought grass-fed beef for a while. Beef is unbelievably expensive, and it's not always to my liking. The thing about beef is that you can have a lot of different kinds of flavors that get into the beef, some of which you might not like so much, even from very healthy cattle. And I'm picky about beef flavors. I'm realizing I am, even with the best quality beef. And so if I see something that's very red and juicy and well marbled, like a good tri-tip, I'll buy it. I'll buy that tri-tip. I don't go, but a lot of other steaks, it's just kind of I want to not ever get. If you're spending a lot of money on a single beef steak, you want that beef steak to be amazing. And for the cost, it's just, yeah, I don't know. Like, so I'm not boycotting beef. I just haven't bought, haven't been to the store for a little bit, and I am really like have a little bit more faith that every time you buy something like it's sausage or bacon or pork, especially the first two, even if it's supposedly more processed, it's you're gonna get more uniform, consistent. Oh yeah, it's gonna taste fine. It tastes good. I'm wondering if I should put more sauces on the beef or something, or make it more palatable. If it's kind of just the weird, not grass fed necessarily always, but you get the weird flavors in there sometimes that are not sweet. They're like grass, because it's more protein and fat tasting, right? It's healthier beef for sure. It's just nothing, yeah. Um, and I'm not doing dairy, not very much right now, and I'm eating in general a little less, I think. Um, yeah, and I don't know. It's something where I think my grocery list should be something around more like 20 items tops. It often went up to 30s, and it doesn't need to be that much. But I mean, just different, depends on what it is. But I really can have these smaller shopping lists, and I should know that I should understand how my life tends to go more, and not buy anything in excess um, as much. I should try to save a little money that way. Yeah, but it's that darn produce, going bad. Or sometimes produce just doesn't taste as well as I'd like it to taste. So I need to still be very aware of the possibility of fruit not always being amazing tasting, and then buy accordingly. And I don't need to have, I just need to keep eating healthy, but um, be very wise about it all. And also wise about myself and how I tend to be. And so a lot of things that other people say about all this stuff, it's valuable, but it's like I just need to know how I am. Look at scrutinize my life a little bit more closely, I guess you could say, in this regard and in many other regards. So before I let you guys go, um, what I was talking about a little bit before, maybe I'll mention a few more things. Maybe. I was very thoughtful in a little bit younger years. So it's an interesting concept regarding other people's ideas about age and behaviors and maturity and whatever. It's other people's, everybody's a little different. So where I'm going with this train of thought, and I'm thinking about this rather intently. So I welcome everybody of all ages here. What if some people cannot behave? I will act accordingly. What I've observed from people that are more transparent on YouTube regarding how they handle this stuff. So I'm going to mention, check it out, Prashant's channel on He's from India, and also Bjorn Andreas Bull Hansen from Norway, and how those two gentlemen handle the riffraff, the trolls. In the first case, Prashant, he I he just deletes and reports it to YouTube. And he just I you know he'll occasionally mention the subject, but he does not mess around with the bad boys. He does not. And Bjorn will talk about this more often, and he'll be extremely like just no tolerance at all. Like gone, from like the trolls and the people that are kind of just not people he wants on his channel. So Bjorn is more like me in a way, where I have made occasionally some angry videos in the past. But that doesn't really matter whether or not I've made angry videos or not. That kind of behavior, that kind of way of acting online is absolutely despicable. When you try to get someone to be angry for the only purpose and the only reason for that being that they try to make someone angry, and you get a rise out of them online. There's nothing admirable at all about that kind of behavior. And when someone does show their temper online, we think, oh, okay, that's not so good. Well, is it? I don't agree with the idea of always being very civil and pleasant online. Why? I don't agree with the idea of being always civil and pleasant in real life. So why should it be any different online? But it should take a lot for me to get that upset. It should. A lot. But I thought it would do some good to mention things in the past, and I don't know if it does. So in that regard, Prashanth is probably correct. It's just better to just not say anything and just report things silently to YouTube. So there's that. And I hope we don't have any more riffraff. If we ever do, that's what's going to happen, is for the most part, unless I find some subject very interesting to talk about, truly, people are just going to be reported to YouTube. And, yeah, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a waste of their time. But if there's some kind of behavior I find humorous, I'll talk about it. And I'll, if I want to make an angry video, I'll make an angry video. And it is what it is. And, the idea of employers, the future employers, that or whoever that might find something objectionable from one of your videos, one of my videos. Well, it's kind of like this. Anybody, anytime can make their videos private or unlisted or whatever. That's a great option. It's a wonderful option. So I don't have to delete things entirely that I made. But I'll have to save this maybe for a second YouTube video, because there's something to this. I've had discussions about this with my dad. So this idea of future employers kind of controlling your behavior, or feeling like you're monitored. It's like there's a British show from the 1960s called The Prisoner. And I might have mentioned it before, maybe not. It has Patrick McGoohan. Yeah, Patrick McGoohan, I think is his name. He's the actor, the main actor in that TV show, The Prisoner. And the whole premise of the show is that he's sent to this prison, but it's not a prison. It's like a resort. It's beautiful. There's beautiful ladies he can talk to. There's wonderful food, the best food. It's really high class, and everything is 60s colors, which is great. Sure. And they filmed the whole show in Wales, coastal Wales. It's just gorgeous. But he can't. No matter what happens, he can't leave this place. McGoohan's character, number 6, I think is number 6. And everybody has this in the show, this little salute thing, and they say "be seeing you" or something like that. And it's a fun little thing. And one of my friends, remember my church, he's married now. He loved that show, and he introduced it to me. And anyway, but I mentioned this show because Patrick McGoohan himself. And by the way, Patrick McGoohan played Edward Longshanks in Braveheart. The English king. That was not very nice, in case you're wondering. But McGoohan has mentioned that enough that we're all kind of always monitored in life on some level. We all have social security numbers. We all have driver's licenses. We all have the government's watching us, every single one of us. And he says, why? Why is this happening? Why do we need to be monitored, observed, scrutinized, our actions scrutinized, or whatever we say scrutinized? What is the purpose of that? And so he had a lot to say about that. And as it is, before I'm done with this video, I'll have a lot more to say about this and more to say in the next video. And just for the rest, just to touch on this, which I'll mention more in depth, some thoughts about this in the next video, but it's kind of how much scrutiny of a person is actually needed by government or law enforcement or an employer, or how much scrutiny of a person is really needed or required to have a just and civil society. You know what the answer to that should be? Like, none. There should be no observation or scrutiny going on whatsoever, like ever. And the idea that someone has a controversial opinion on politics, and somehow that's offensive to being like a professor in a college or in some job where the employer doesn't like someone's politics, that is a bunch of hooey. That is the definition of the sort of thing that should make people just fuming mad. Because we all have opinions. We all have feelings about stuff. We're not, this is a good venue to voice them. And if YouTube is not a good venue to voice them, then what venue is available to voice our feelings and thoughts and opinions about things? What venue is? Give me a venue. Is it writing letters to a newspaper? Nobody reads the newspaper anymore. Is it just talking with people and not saying anything online about your real thoughts and feelings about things? Well, sure, but what if some people, everyone that you know, doesn't want to talk about some things? Or it depends on the person, right? But what if you want to reach an audience about what you're saying on some level? Well, but if the government and your future employers or your current employers or whoever is watching your stuff and they go, nope, I just don't think that's... Or the police, you did something maybe you shouldn't have done. The police stepping in, the idea of them stepping in for some stupid reason. And I'm going to get to more stuff in here in just a second, but it's wrong, folks. It's wrong. I mean, okay, talk to you guys in just a bit.